Cool. Let me just smash this. Just 1 second. Cool. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Today, you know what, Manish, can you pronounce your last name for me?
Pushye,
Pushye.
Manish Pushye. Uh-huh.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Today, we've got Manish Pushye, who is a Rockstar Capital Collective member. He has been owning and operating shopping centers for a long time. Also has done liquor stores, warehouses, flex space, shopping plazas, motels, you name it. He has done it all over the place. Has a deal under contract right now that's going to, we were just talking about offline, super exciting about. Manish, welcome to the program.
Hey Hunter, how are you?
Doing well. When we got connected, it was actually originally at a dinner we hosted in Phoenix. And one of the things we talked about is that you have a very unique business model, and you're kind of like, hey, is this going to work for my strategy? Given that I've got kind of a diversified focus, a diversified background, I'm like 100%. But I also want to learn about your strategies because it sounds super interesting. So I want to do it on a recording today because I think that right now people are looking for diversification more than ever, and I think that you've got your hands in a lot of stuff. So tell me a little bit more about your background, and we can talk about some of the asset classes that you're most interested in right now.
Yeah, so Hunter, I own 6 liquor stores here in Valley. When I say Valley, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all my businesses are in 30, 40-mile radius of where I live. Um, and I don't go outside Arizona because there's so much to do. And Arizona is so hot when it comes to real estate and the business. We are getting population growth. We are getting all kind of activities going on right now. So when people say why you are just doing Arizona, I mean, they should come and check it out. Arizona is hot. It's a place to be at this point. And I own, where I am right now, it's a flex warehouse space. And the funny thing is, I knew nothing about any of this real estate. I was doing single family residences for a very long time. But then I realized the kind of time investment and effort it requires on single family is the same as commercial, but the returns are lucrative. So that's what, when I purchased my first warehouse here in this plaza, I own this whole plaza and I have rented, there are like 8 warehouse spaces. So the 6, I have rented it out and I'm getting good, rental income. The other 2 I kept with me. One is my office, one is my storage. And it's in Phoenix. And the funny thing is, I bought this in 2014 for around 750K, the whole plaza. And right now it's like 3.5, 4 mil. So the post-COVID things are crazy, and the rental and right now the cap rate of the rent I'm making, and it's all triple net. I don't have to worry about any maintenance or anything. And the cap rate is around 14-15%, which is
Wow.
like you will
Triple
not
net is
find.
insane.
Yeah, triple net is insane. So, and that's the same thing with shopping plaza that I own in Avondale, Arizona. The triple net is crazy. I mean, I'm getting $21,000 rent, monthly rent. And the funny thing is I bought that for 2.6 mil. So you do the math, it's crazy.
Did you use
Yeah.
leverage on that?
So, yeah, so now the bank was my tenant, Chase Bank. I let them go. I'm replacing it with my own liquor store.
Okay.
So I'm doing renovations and all that. Pretty soon, once my liquor store is operational, it will add. I can get better cap rate. I can increase the cap even higher,
What does
so.
the debt markets look like on some of these unique I just have never invested in liquor stores, for example. Can you get regional banks? Is it credit facilities? Is there agency debt? I mean, I know that may seem silly, but I don't know the answer. So what do you think?
So the funny thing is, most of my liquor stores, I bought seller financing.
Okay.
And when I say that, I hardly like the very last liquor store I bought in Avondale, Arizona, I didn't put anything out of my pocket. It's a funny incident. This guy wanted out, and I said, and he wanted $2 million to sell that liquor store because the liquor license number 9 in Maricopa County itself is like $1 million by itself. If you have to go to marketplace, you have to pay $1 million just for the number 9 liquor license. So liquor license was included, so he wanted 2 mil, and I was like, okay, I don't have 2 mil. Oh, so he's like, what do you got? I'm like, I at this point I don't have much, but I can ask my friends and see if I can bring 250 to 300K. He's like, can you bring 500K? I'm like, no, I don't think so. He's like, okay, let me know if you. So for some reason, I know a few deals I closed in the past where the inventory of the acquisition, the business I'm trying to acquire, I can get that financed, like the
Okay.
inventory. And so I asked this gentleman, hey, how much inventory you think you have? He said, I got 350K worth of inventory.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, you know what? I think we have a deal. Let me call you in a couple of days. I called my inventory guy, the inventory financing guy, and he said, okay, if that's the case, we can fund you around 80, 75% of what you're talking about.
Just real quick,
And
just
he
because
did,
for the people that are listening, says is unique. So it sounds like you've got a financer that will lend on current inventory and 60 to
yes,
like
yes,
60 to 75% and use the inventory as collateral. Is that how it works?
collateral.
Okay.
Yes. Then I have another guy who I know I dealt with him in the past for my other stores who was financing on your revenue. I mean, the current revenue of
Yeah.
your business. So it was revenue-based lending. So I asked him, hey, this is the current revenue of this business, how much you can find. So in nutshell, I got close to 500K from these two, three guys.
Hmm.
And that's the money I put as a down payment, and I acquired that store. And so, yeah, I mean, as far as the banking is concerned, no banks like to touch liquor stores, or they don't want to. Uh, SBA, sometimes they do that, but I have not seen much businesses getting closed with the banking assistance, or some kind of bank lending. No, I have not. I mean, either you have to do some kind, and the rest of 1.5K, 1.5 mil was financed by him. So I'm
Yep.
making still payments to him. And the good thing is, after paying those lenders and this seller, I'm still netting 20 grand on this store. So a month, which is
Infinite
not that
return on
bad.
$0 in. Pretty dope.
Zero
Um,
dollars in. Yeah.
I guess the question, though, of course, is what happens when you go to sell it? Because obviously you don't want to hold a note on a property. Like if you go to sell a property for $2 million or $3 million, this buyer probably is going to not be able to finance it through you. Or do you sell deals through seller financing where you are the seller?
Yeah, yeah. So in that case, it will still be a seller carry, but my numbers will increase. My numbers will go high, right? I'll ask instead of 2 mil, I'll ask for 3 or whatever is the
Mhm.
market at that point, you know. But yeah, notes keep transfer, but yeah, you're right. I have to pay this guy his 1.5 before I can, or somebody has to give me at least 1.5, whatever I owe to this seller,
Right.
uh, before I can sell that. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I cannot transfer the notes just like that.
What about,
Or
do you?
maybe it is, who knows? But
Yeah, there's a million things you can do with notes. I mean, they're private
go ahead.
transactions. They're basically IOUs, so you can do whatever you want with them. They're tradable, which kind of brings me to my next point. In the
Yeah,
past, have you ever
yeah.
done a seller finance deal and then sold the note. So for this example, let's say you buy a property for 2 million, you borrow 1.5, you put $500,000 down, then you add significant value, sell the property for 4 million, take $500,000 down, sell the property, however, and then you've got this IOU for 3.5 million. You could actually sell that $3.5 million note, that IOU, to someone else for, let's say, 3.3 million cash in hand, and then
Yes.
they collect the monthly
Yeah.
payments. Have you done something
Yes,
like that?
yeah, I have done that. In Riverside, California, I used to own a plastic manufacturing company. In 2010, that's the time I sold that company. So that company I sold for 6 mil, and I was paid 1 million, and the rest I carried. And I sold that note in the remaining 5 million balance for some 4.5, 4.25, something like that. It was
Mhm.
quite a loss, but I wanted cash. So yeah, I've done that once, more than once. Yeah.
Interesting.
And there are companies who does that all the time, and for some reason they come to know about the transaction and they call you. They're like, looks like you have sold your business and you carrying a note. Do you want to finance that? You want to, they come to know because I didn't know any of that at that point.
Hmm.
But gentleman reached me and he said, will you be interested in discounting the note? I'm like, yeah, give me the fair price. We'll talk.
Wow. Super interesting. What are you seeing right now in terms of opportunities that you're excited about? Like, what are you seeing in the space that's interesting, especially going on with what's happening in the economy and interest rates? What's something that you would see and say, okay, we got to take a look at this. Let's go and visit the property. And for you, it's only a 30-minute drive at max, but what would you have to see to make that happen?
So this is a very interesting period. I mean, the banks are tight, the money is tight. We all know that, right? I mean, and it's an election year on top of that. It's like not an easy year for many people, and especially for investors. They are waiting and watching, they don't want to invest their hard-earned dollars. They want to see what future holds, and they're very caution, and which is very obvious. One should be careful. But my thing is, this is the best time to do investments because there is a lot of opportunity out there and the economy is still booming. The job market is still strong, So as long as job market is okay, I don't think there should be any worry. There should be any concern or a biggest but yeah, as long as job market is not affected, I will not be, scared, or but these deals, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm getting well, whether it's motels or shopping plazas or you name it, if I don't put an offer in a week, that property is gone. There are buyers. I mean, and there are a ton of buyers ready to put an offer, and they are getting their asking price. So I'm surprised. Asking price in today's time when the money is so tight, it says a lot, right? I mean, the market is in upswing, and it's a good time to buy. And the funny thing is, one of my friend bought a motel last year, and he's in the market to sell it this year,
Mm,
and he's asking 2.5 mil more than what he bought last year, and he got the offer. He
wow.
already has like two offers outside. So it's crazy. I mean, what kind of business you can see that kind of return, 2.5 mil in 1 year acquisition of a property, and you are taking an exit next year. So it's
Um,
crazy. I mean,
it's so cool to hear. And is that, just so I know, is that all deal also in Arizona, or is that outside of your typical
yeah,
market?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And this deal was in Glendale, Arizona, I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Yeah.
And it's a Best Western motel he acquired last year, and he's taking an exit this year. And I was so surprised. I was like, why is that? He's like, man, it's a time to flip.
Wow.
It's a best time to flip.
That's really
You know,
interesting.
forget, yeah, and the kind of money you can make in flip. Why wait? Why keep running the show when you can take an exit with the good returns? You know, I was like, wow, yeah.
That's
But
incredible.
coming back to my journey, you know, I came to United States in 2000 with the $700 as a software professional. So I was one of those Y2K guys who was supposed to fix the Y2K .com strategy. And when I came, it was all dirt. Nothing, Y2K was not such a serious thing and nothing happened. And, you know, I lost my job. And then I was like, either I go back or I keep hustling or do whatever comes my way. So I end up started working in gas stations, liquor stores, motels, you name it. That, and at that time I was thinking like, why I'm wasting my time in all these things and I'm hardly making any money. But now I realize those were the days when I acquired all the knowledge and all the things related with those industries, which is helping me now um, to, you know, with so many things, whether what kind of guys I should hire, what kind of team I should have, and what sells, what not sell. I mean, you name it. So one thing I realize, if something happens in your life, it's happening for a reason. It doesn't, it you can't say like um, how this thing is adding any value down the road. I mean, now if I see all those, whatever knowledge I gained then is what I'm applying now. And
For
it's
sure.
very helpful, and, you know, and then after working in those industries, I started doing scrap metal trading. You know, I was shipping scrap metal from United States or, you know, North America, Canada to Asia, like whether it's a steel, stainless steel, you name it, aluminum, you know, all the scrap in containers. Bless you. So I did that for a very long time and it was lucrative. That's where I made good money. And but I have to take an exit because I was party to a lawsuit at you know, I wanted to open my own scrapyard in
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the land and everything, and I ordered this one machine. It's called automobile shredder, like that shreds. If you put the car
Yeah.
in the shredder, it shreds. So it basically separates ferrous, non-ferrous, plastics, everything, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you sell all that in a very good price, you know, to the scrap industry or recycling industry. So when I ordered that machine was like 5 mil,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
machine never it never showed up. The bank already wired the money on my behalf to the broker and machine never showed up. So that became a nightmare. Now
Wow.
I owe 5 mil to the bank, and banks want that money, and these guys are not entertaining. So bank, I end up becoming the bank filing, they filed a lawsuit on me, and I end up filing a lawsuit on the broker and the seller, actual owner of the machine. So it became a multi-party lawsuit. It took 2 years, 2.5 years for me to settle with the bank. You know, I came out of it and I sold them the assignment of my rights so that they can pursue the lawsuit with those other two parties. They are still fighting
No
after it was
way.
a 2017 it happened. So 7 years later, they are still, and I'm out. No, no, I mean, I lost quite a good amount of money, but overall, you know, and that's where when I came out of that, I'm like, what I'm going to do. And then I started doing e-commerce business, selling on Amazon and we have a factory in India. My dad was supplying me products, like we were selling gas cans, diesel cans, and watering cans on eBay and Amazon.
You know what? Can we go back real quick? Because what has to happen for you to buy something, have a purchase contract, them have the thing, them not send it, and then there's 7 years of litigation? What went wrong with that deal? Did you learn any lessons? For like, what would you have not done?
Yes, I learned my lesson that you should try not to do personal guarantee on any
Of
of,
course.
the judge clearly told me, dude, if you did not sign personal guarantee, I would have helped you, but there is not much we can do here. I mean, you owe that money to the bank, you have to pay them. But $5 million deal, can you believe me and bank, well, we settled it for 350K.
Mm.
So plus attorney fees.
Yeah.
So overall, I end up paying 500K out of my pocket, but still, it was quite a hassle.
But what even happened? What was the seller's point?
So the broker and seller, they had an issue.
I
They
see.
the ego was a big thing, man. The seller said one price, the broker, they had a miscommunication. He said, no, you gave me this price. Broker said, no, this was the price. He's like, okay, I'm not going to sell it to you. Thank you. And now this broker just got greedy. He took my money and he sent whatever. So it was crap. It was crap. And when I faced him in front of in court, I yelled at him. I did all I could do, but it didn't do any good. It was just a learning experience that you have to take your documentation seriously. You cannot, and you have to do your due diligence seriously. You cannot close deals left and right. You have to make sure the guy you're dealing with is you. And now, if I have to deal with anyone, I tell him clearly, please provide 2 to 3 references. I will get back with you. I don't jump on, I don't jump my gun just right away. And yeah, I learned my lesson. And that's another reason I'm not doing deals outside Arizona because that one fear is still, because that machine was supposed to come from Puerto Rico, never showed up. And Puerto Rico, when you go have a lawsuit, I mean, it's not
I
typical. I
understand.
mean, you have to, yeah,
There's always this
yeah,
uncertainty, and I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of people I respect that do the international investment thing. I always stay away from it. I mean, there's
yes,
too many laws, there's too many uncertainties. There's a lot we take for granted in the United States, and I understand Puerto Rico is in this kind of like gray area or whatever, but the point is, the moment I see something that's like, oh, this coffee farm in Belize. I'm like, not going to do it because I don't know the legal structure there. I don't know the attorneys there. It's too far outside of my skill set to handle. There's too many unknowns. It's not that I can just go and underwrite the coffee farm. I have to underwrite the entire legal structure that I'm not familiar with. And there may be nuances that make the difference between me getting paid and not getting paid, or me getting the title, for example, and me not getting the title. So I'm not saying anyone else should have the same strategy as me, but for me, I just say no when it comes to anything international. Too many things going on. Let's get
exactly.
back to you.
Oh, yes.
So you went into the ecom business. Tell me about that because I'm interested as well.
So e-com business did um, fabulous for me until COVID hit. When e-com, I was at one point doing high 7 figures. Even really, I did not expect it. I was like, I started selling on eBay, a few dollars here and there. And then I was like, the moment I entered Amazon, and now TikTok is there, but at that time it was not the case. But Amazon itself, I was doing high 7 figures, selling gas cans, diesel cans, watering cans, and their nozzles, and their spouts, you name it. And my dad was making them in India, and we were selling it online. You won't believe, Hunter, I was buying single family residence, all cash every month, one property every month with that e-com business. It was that good. But then COVID came and supply chain
Mm,
disrupted.
I see.
And supply chain disrupted. My dad jinxed it. I mean, he said, this is the business we can count on for rest of our life. You don't have to worry. I'm the supplier, you are the buyer, and we can
Yeah.
do all this. And within a couple of months, we see COVID hit. I was like, Dad, why you even say these things in the universe? You should not even now look what we are going through. And so 1 year passed, I could not buy anything. And the things I was buying, like if I was paying $5 a kilo before prior to COVID, now I'm paying $500 per kg
Mm-hmm.
to get it from. So there was hardly any profits, hardly anything. So I was like, and my bank accounts were almost, to the point where I have to have something local.
Mm-hmm.
I needed something which is here, and it doesn't, what if COVID 2.0 comes, then again, like something not related with supply chain or international supplier or whatever. That's when I bought my first liquor store in Mesa, Arizona, and I had zero money, but I had enough assets, which I bought during e-com period. I used them to buy a liquor store in Mesa for almost 4.25 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And that 4.25, 2 million was financed by a hard money guy against my properties, what I had. It was a blanket loan, and the remaining was seller financed. And that business did good for me, for last, I bought it in 2021. So it's like three plus years. And now I added four more stores. And, so that business did good. And then I got more, like liking towards this kind of a business. So I end up, but my, my point is you can do anything and everything, but you have to see your risk and reward, right? I mean, you have to make sure that you don't do. Right now, I have 72 plus employees, Hunter. So handling these many employees is not a piece of cake. So, um, and then when I came to your platform, whenever I was talking to anyone about liquor store or getting funding for liquor store, they were looking at it as less ethical or unethical business.
Mm.
The them, and they are like, we would like to be in real estate. So I was like, okay, let me pivot. If I I'm already buying shopping plazas, so let me invest in shopping plazas. Let me give them real estate if they're what they want, and I'll have my business in there. So it's like I'm going to target with two targets with one arrow,
Yeah.
so that's one. And now my only concern is I have a good amount of portfolio, but it's all my investment is in there, right? So that's my concern. I want to refi this either through a fund, which I have already created. It's a 506c Reg D,
Okay.
as you mentioned, we should be doing. So it's already in there. PPM is ready. We have pitch deck ready. We have one pager and our CRM, everything is in place. Now we just are making VSL videos to bring the traffic. And that's where we at right now.
Love that. How can people learn more about that?
So they can go to our website. It's awesomeroi.us. And they will find tons of information there, or they can LinkedIn me, Manish Pushye, and they can connect me there. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I got 5,000 uh, friends, and you can't have more than that. So, and they are mostly real estate based. So now I was telling my manager, Eric, hey, we are about to start promoting our deals. So I'm ready with Facebook. Just give me what you got, and I think we'll get tremendous response from Facebook since 5,000 real estate based friends are active. Yeah, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. It's gonna be good.
Love to hear it. Well, we will link to that in the show notes page. Manish, it's been awesome to see you grow, man. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing so well right now, and especially given the unique niches that you're in, I know you're going to keep crushing it. And with all the cycles you've been through, all the changes, all the challenges, interest rates, liquor stores, bad employees, good partnerships, bad partnerships, the $5 million lawsuit, it's a great story. And I know you're just getting started, man. So we'll continue to check in with you over the next couple of years, man. Keep us posted. You're the man. We'll link to that stuff in the show notes page. Thanks again, Manish.
I'll see you in San Diego. Take care, okay?
All right, that's cool. I'll see you soon.